Twilly-dilly-dee, 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 tweet, 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 tweet.
She talks to the people all night long, chatting and a gabbing and a singing her song. All the divas down on Rainbow Street love to hear Toni go tweet, tweet, tweet. Talking Toni,
Tweet, tweet,
talking Toni.
tweet, twilly-dee,
Oh, talking Toni, gonna talk tonight.
tweet, twilly-dee.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Talking Toni. I'm Toni Homeperm, the singing diva of Long Island. And thank you for joining me as I get to sit down and chat with some of the most fabulous people here on Long Island. And joining me today is none other than one of Long Island's best karaoke DJs, Dennis of Kara Okee.
Thank you, Tony. How you doing?
Thank you for agreeing to be here
That's an
today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Dennis, we've known each other now, I think, about 4 years.
Maybe 2.
No, I think it's longer
More
than
than
that.
that? Maybe.
Yeah, because I met you before I started doing drag.
Right.
And so,
At New Bar.
no, actually, it was at, I think we first met, it was at the bowling alley in Farmingdale.
Right.
We're doing karaoke
Monday night, yes.
for the Long Island Gay Men's Chorus. We had a bowling event.
That's right.
And you did the karaoke, and that's
right.
where we first met. Before I even became Toni Homeperm.
Homeperm, yes.
Yeah. So we go back before Toni Homeperm when it was Toni with a Y. Wasn't Toni with an I.
You were typical Tony.
Typical Toni. Yes, I wasn't talking Toni. I was typical Toni. So tell me, Dennis, you are without a doubt one of the busiest karaoke DJs here on Long Island. You're, how many days a week are you hosting karaoke?
Right
on a
now,
regular
I'm doing
basis?
4.
Four
4 straight days.
4 straight days.
Most Tuesdays, every other Thursday. It looks like every other Sunday, Fridays, and Saturdays.
And actually, the reason that we're doing my show a little earlier today is because you've got a gig later.
got a gig today, yes.
Tonight. So where are you tonight?
I'm at Aruga's in Rockville Center tonight.
Aruga's
8
in
o'clock.
Rockville Center, 8:00.
Ladies' night.
Oh, ladies' night.
Yeah.
Oh, would I be acceptable as a lady?
You know what? You come as you are. You get treated as you are.
I have to ask, how does one get into being a karaoke
His
DJ?
brother's a karaoke host for many years.
It's all
And
in the
he's asked-
family.
he's asked and begged to do it because his sons are going to college and they couldn't do it anymore. So yes.
Okay. Well, let's get into that. So your brother was, still is a karaoke DJ.
Right, for over 20 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. And how long have you been doing it?
This is my 7th year.
Okay.
I started in 2014.
Okay. So how did your brother get into it?
I think he used to go to shows, one person, and he started helping the lady out. And Carol, who now is at Wanto Mitsubishi selling cars.
Oh.
And she started having him help out. And next thing you know, he was part of the show.
Oh.
And then when she
you
left,
go.
gave him the gigs. So,
Okay. And you got into it because his sons didn't want to get into it.
Right, well, they were done with it. They couldn't help him out anymore, and he had too
Okay.
many. He had needed help, so I started doing it.
So you started doing it.
Within a year and a half, we came to a mutual agreement to buy him out, and I went on my own.
Okay. And do you have any kind of musical background?
I actually in 6th grade I was in the opera.
You were in the opera.
I was in 3 operas. I was in the children's chorus. I was the only one who couldn't sing.
Uh-huh.
I failed the auditions, but because I was the only one, they kept me. Figured they were going to hide me. I was in Carmen, in 2 separate parts in Carmen. I was in La Boheme, Chasing the Toymaker, and in Tosca. We were in Tosca also.
Oh, okay. But you said you can't sing.
I can't sing.
You can't
hidden.
sing.
I was hidden in the children's chorus. There was one of those, sing very low. Sing very, very low.
Oh, we call those basses.
Yes.
We call those people basses. Oh no! Now I have friends in the Long Island Gay Men's Chorus that are going to stab me in the back because I said that.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe. Okay, so, but did you have a love of music?
Oh, of course.
You did?
Of course I
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was an '80s boy, so as far
Oh
as
yes, the
the
80s.
new wave '80s rock is
Yes.
my favorite. So
Okay. So which ones are your favorite?
go Duran Duran,
Duran, yes, I
Depeche
was
Mode, and New
Yes.
Order. There's so many.
Love them. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Yes. Oh, I love
Anything
that
that made you
music.
move back then. I was very much into working out back then as a kid, and anything that made me move and keep on going was energy, all energy. So I liked.
Yes. I mean, for me, like, because we're about the same age.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
Lady,
really.
You're only 30, Tony. Come on, you're a
I
lady now. You're only
wish.
30.
I wish we're going back a couple decades now to 30, but the 80s music, that's my jam. That's my love. And I actually even when I'm performing, I do a lot of 80s stuff. And,
Okay.
And actually, I just did a show. Was it January? In the city at Industry, it was an 80s night, but I sort of wimped out. I didn't sing. I did a lip sync. So, but
But you're good enough to sing. I've heard you sing, and you're very good.
usually I do. Usually I do. Actually, I did the same show the year prior, and I did Prince's Kiss.
Nice.
And yeah, I've done. I think I've done that at karaoke that you've hosted before.
Tony, you haven't been around such a long time. I don't
I
remember anymore.
I know. I feel so bad. We actually we were talking about that. The problem is that a lot of times when you're hosting karaoke,
You have a show.
I have a show, and I actually even did a little, pseudo karaoke hosting myself.
I saw that.
Not to the level that you do it. We were just pulling up stuff on YouTube, like backing tracks, and
Right.
and people were singing, but it's not. Let me ask you, how do you feel about that?
As far as what you're doing karaoke?
No,
or-
not me. But I'm seeing now people doing it where they're just pulling up a track on YouTube.
Whatever it takes. I don't judge how other people work or what they do. I mean, everybody's entitled to make a living.
Well,
That's what
yeah,
it is. The only thing I've noticed with YouTube myself, and I could be wrong because I haven't really done it professionally, is unless you pay for it, you have the commercials and the buffering.
Yeah,
So you really need a good internet.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good internet, you've got a disaster.
that's very true.
I did have somebody fill in for me once who did that, and I didn't know they used the internet. And during the middle of songs, it just died on them. It stopped and buffered and froze.
Oh, geez.
And it kind of ruined the show on them. So
I didn't have any problems with the buffering, but we did. All of a sudden we're pulling a track up, and it's like one of those, oh, why is your dog eating poop commercials?
Yes,
It's coming up, and it's
Yeah,
like not really the one. It's like skip, and it's not skipping, and it's like So, but that's the great thing when you go to a karaoke that you're hosting. No one has to worry about that because you have everything on your laptop, and
right. But we do have issues. I mean, things happen.
of
but
course, there's always issues.
far and few between.
There's always issues. How many? I don't know if you can even guesstimate it. How many songs would you say you have available to you? Like,
I'm gonna make up a number because
okay,
it would have to be in the multiple thousands.
multiple of thousands. Yeah.
Because don't forget, also I have the same song in different karaoke venues or tracks. Like there are I don't want to say one company's name because they'll get you.
Right.
Sunfly, and there's also Legend. So there's
Right,
different.
right.
There's different karaoke tracks that
Right.
come in. So I might have the same song in 20 different tracks.
Okay. Yeah, because they're not always exactly the same.
No. Some of the words are different. Some of the music's different.
Right.
Some are really bad. Some are really good. So it all
Yes.
depends.
Sometimes they may even be not the version people are thinking of, and I've seen that happen where somebody they ask you, they want to do a song, and all of a sudden it starts, and then they're like, oh, that's not the version I know.
Right, where they've gone to other shows that don't have the better quality
Right.
songs or tracks, and they're used to it, and then you pull something up, and they're just lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Very, very true.
Well, you just use a different one, whatever it is, but
Yeah. So you've got to have a lot of tracks on hand.
you have to have different versions. It all depends on what somebody's used to. Mm-hmm. But they don't know what they're used to half the times. Well, they know it's not the same. And
Right.
you get that, so that's not the same. So I'm sitting there looking at 20 tracks saying, do you want me to go through every one of them, or do you just want to sing this one as it is?
Right. Now, what I've noticed is you have a very loyal karaoke following. a lot of the people that when you go to one of the karaoke's that you're hosting, a lot of the people they just follow you.
Well, it depends on the venue. I have some that do, but this venue, I think in the years past, it was more loyalty than now because I think a lot of people just jump from different shows to different shows. So it all depends on the venue. If they like the venue, they'll come. If they don't like the venue, you could be your best friend. They just won't show up.
True. So let me ask you now, as a karaoke DJ, is there any one specific song that when someone asks you to play it that you're just like, oh, not again?
That would usually be Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Paradise by the Dashboard
Only
Light.
because
It's so long?
only because 95% of the people who ask to sing it cannot sing.
Cannot sing it.
So it's really bad, or they'll stop in the middle of it, and you'll have that long song to listen to while they're not singing it.
Oh, the baseball part.
Yes.
Who is that? Phil Rizzuto,
Phil
right?
Rizzuto, right.
Yes, I remember that from when I was a kid. That it's like that part on the radio. It's great.
Right.
On the radio, it's great. But like at karaoke, not so great.
Well, not when you hear it. You feel like if you're doing 4 nights a week and you hear it all 4 nights.
Oh God!
No, it's not that.
Oh
great.
God!
But another song that's more recent that I don't care for much is Picture, Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
It's just, excuse me, I'm falling asleep thinking of it already. So
yeah.
it's a little
Although
draggy.
I've heard some people do it, and it's very nice.
They can sing it, but it's just dragged out song. It's very slow paced.
Yeah. And what was there was some other song I remember. It was actually at that first karaoke that I met you, and I forget what song it is, but it's one of those songs that it just goes on and on. It has a lot of like instrumental parts in it. I can't remember.
I was thinking of Billy Joel's For the Longest Time. At the end, all it is For the Longest Time over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So you get that.
There's that.
The most popular song is probably Sweet Caroline.
Well, yeah.
It's also got the best party song there is. So.
Absolutely. I actually started doing. I made like this own mix for myself. It's sugar, the Archie Sugar,
right,
and then it goes into Def Leppard's Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Ah, nice.
And I got it to, and actually there's like, if you ever see like, they have like articles on Facebook and they talk about like, what are the best songs to get a bunch of white people going. And it's like Pour Some Sugar on Me is like probably the top song to like get a large audience of older,
see that.
white people like going crazy. And let me tell you, every time I do that song, when I get to the Pour Some Sugar on Me part, it's like the audience goes crazy. And then like towards the end, I tell her, I encourage everybody to sing along. And I've had like the whole place, like everybody singing "Pour Some Sugar on Me." So it's
that's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need the audience participation. If you don't have that, you're dead.
No, yes, but that's like one of the first time I did that, and I saw like everybody was like singing along. I was like, ooh, power. So
Now, karaoke, that could be good or bad because some people don't want anybody else to sing with them; they want to sing alone.
yes, very very true. I mean, but when I'm doing my shows, I'm like, if I get people singing along, it's fine. Actually, a lot of the nursing home shows that I do, I get a lot of the residents singing along
The attraction?
with me.
That's
yes,
good.
and it's like I had a show last week, and I think it was when I did. Which song was it? I'm trying to remember now. Quando,
yes.
by Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes.
And the crowd, the audience, the residents there, they just went nuts.
Well,
they were all singing along.
That age group.
Yeah.
So it fit in for them.
They loved it. They were all singing along, and it was like.
See, I thought you were going to say BINGO because they all play bingo there. So
Yeah, well, I'm sure they would for that too. But I was like really surprised that Quando had such a great reaction. Usually I always end with Que Sera Sera.
Okay,
And that's another one too that they all they know
I
the
guess
words.
you're swaying and singing.
They
that.
do,
Sure.
they do, and funnily enough, sometimes some of the residents may have dementia or Alzheimer's, and they're kind of non-responsive. But sometimes a certain song, all of a sudden, it's like it just brings them to life, and they're like, they're
That's fabulous.
yeah, and it's like I've had so many times, like a lot of the recreational people will say to me, "Wow, I can't believe like they were like all joining in and singing along, and they were and interactive." I was like, "Yeah, well, it's the power of music.
Yes, that's right.
It's the power of music.
Bring people together.
Absolutely, which is what you do.
That's what I do
on a regular
for,
basis
for a living. That's my only job now. Retired, so
this is
what I do.
This is and now I've got to point this out because if you want to know where to find Dennis, they find you on Facebook as Kara Okee.
2 words.
2 words.
Kara Okee.
And I gotta ask you, how did you come up with that? Because when I first saw like that screen name Kara Okee, I'm thinking, oh, this has got to be a woman.
Right. Well,
it's the name Kara.
But it is, because if you look at my Facebook profile, it is a woman.
Okay.
I use my mother's profile, so I never forget her birthday.
Oh, okay.
I'm not stupid. She's still alive.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yes.
So
I had 3 different attempts, and I kept on getting shut down for having a business on karaoke. I mean, I was on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So, and they weren't very good anyway. And I just started thinking, I said, karaoke, what the heck? And it hit so well that it made me think, why didn't anybody else think of this?
right.
So
Yeah. So if
it was actually a joke, and it just worked out well.
a joke that's been a success.
Because it was actually, the thing was party on karaoke with karaoke. Mm-hmm. And I just dropped the rest of it. Now it's just karaoke.
Karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that's where if anyone wants to find you, to book you, they can find you on Facebook.
Right.
Under Kara
Okee.
Okay. And also, aren't you now the moderator for the Long Island
Karaoke Junkies. Yes,
Junkies page?
my friend who was moderating had a heart attack, and
Oh, geez.
he's really not up to it and doesn't want to be bothered with a lot of it. So, and they asked me to do a little tweaking here and there, and I've done that. So, some people are happy about it, some people aren't. But
Oh, well.
it's being run the way I feel it's best for everybody.
Right.
So I try to make it as fair as for everyone.
Right, and basically what that page is, it's a resource for anyone who wants to know where karaoke is happening on Long Island that week. That particular.
I do it day by day, but you can scroll through it and find a whole week's.
Right.
Sunday through Tuesday, everybody will put down in one post their weekly shows, whether it's 1 show or 5, and then each day they'll post their shows.
Right.
So you'll find them easily.
Yes, and you're and I know you're quite strict about what gets posted in the group. Like I don't
want to say it's strict. We just have a rule. And
right.
It's got to be karaoke 1.
Right.
It's not a self-promoting. Here's my singing. Here's my songs. It's strictly. It has to do with your show.
Right.
If you're posting a show, you want to put a video of somebody singing it, that's great. But we're not looking at I do DJ at home and here's how I sound type thing. There's a strictly karaoke shows, and it's to make everybody. Hey, look, we're all in the business to make money. This is a business, and the best opportunity to make money is by everybody posting the same amount of times, the same amount, and equal opportunity.
Right.
People come, they come. So it's rather than somebody posting their show 3 times and somebody else once because they don't have time. We just make it 1 time a day. Period.
So, and how's that been working out, the page so far?
Oh well, I'm sure I get blasted on. You know what? Like you said,
do you get angry instant messages from some people?
I don't get them so much. I've got one, but I don't think that I'm not somebody who really takes things kindly. I'll just jump at you and snap. So I think they probably messaged Bob, the other guy who was in charge, but he doesn't read anything anymore anyway. So yeah, it's going at that.
Basically, just going into the
So in other words, stop complaining, just comply.
So don't bother complaining.
Don't bother complaining. It's not
don't
going
bother
anywhere.
complaining. It's not going to do you any good. But everyone who posts, they just need to post,
their show
for the show.
And so and there's a lot of hosts out there that we don't even know about that don't even post.
I'm sure.
Because I hear there's a show here and that, and I don't even know who the person is. Never heard of them. And I wish they would stop posting because it just makes everything stronger. And even if they have great shows they don't need to promote, it's just good for karaoke. Right. It's a show that there's not 5 shows on a Tuesday. There's maybe 12 shows on a Tuesday. Put them out there. It shows power.
Yeah.
Maybe people who are casual will get into it more, or people who don't.
Right.
Because I started off as not singing. I'm not a singer, and I went to karaoke shows and it found it to be the most boring thing in the world. I couldn't wait to leave. But once you start singing, you sit there and you want to sing again, and you
Right.
get
Yes.
anxious,
Yes.
and you get to the point where when am I singing again? And it's just you want to do it. It's just
Right.
so much fun.
Yes.
But more people get into it.
Yes. And actually, you hosted karaoke at New Bar for one of the very first times that I performed as Toni Homeperm.
Yes.
It was actually, I had actually only performed one time as Toni Homeperm, singing live with the Long Island Gay Men's Chorus. And then what had happened was I had gotten asked to do a show for the Imperial Court of New York. And I knew I was going to be singing live. And I was just like, I was very nervous about it. I was very nervous. And I was like, ooh, what am I going to do? I was like, so I said, I knew you were hosting karaoke at New Bar. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to get in drag and I'm going to go there and I'm going to sing my song just to give myself sort of a dress rehearsal. I guess is the best way I could think of it, because I was like I didn't want at the show that I was performing at. I was just very nervous about it, and I was like, I've got to sort of alleviate the nerves somehow, and the best way to do that. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you're nervous about performing, really the only way to get over it is to just perform.
Well, Toastmasters. When you're not used to speaking in public, you go to Toastmasters, so you get used to that.
Right.
So simply you go in a smaller venue.
Right.
And you get used to so you get used to the bigger venues.
Exactly. And what happened was, it was actually that night at New Bar was like a turning point for me, because when I first walked in, it was and I was the only drag queen there that night. It wasn't so it was sort of everybody was staring at what is this drag queen doing here? And and I said hello to you. And then when I went up to sing, and I remember it specifically, I sang "I Love the Nightlife" by Alicia Bridges. Which is one of my go-to songs now.
Your disco song.
And it was the audience there, they went crazy when I started singing, and it was just it was like power. It was like a drug, and really that is my drug.
Well, we got to give New Bar a shout out, because they have the best customers there,
Yes,
as far
they
as
do.
people for karaoke. Everybody gets into it.
Yes.
They applaud. They appreciate
do.
it. There's no problems. Never a problem.
No.
And that I
And
love
a lot
New
of
Bar for that.
really, really good singers.
And really, I'm a straight guy
there.
bringing straight people in there.
Yeah, yes.
I used to bring a bigger following, but then a couple of things happened, so they don't come around as much. But I still have a strong straight following.
Right.
And they appreciate it. They have no problems there. They like the place.
Yeah.
They really get along with everybody. So, I mean, give a shout out for New Bar.
Absolutely.
Works
New
well.
Bar, yes. Where I have
If you're listening, Chris, I want to raise.
Chris. And I told you, Chris will be on be my guest for the next episode of
Well, I'm going to listen in to see if he promotes
listen
me
in.
as much as I
Yes.
promoted him now.
I'm gonna have to remind him.
Play it back just before he goes on.
Yes. Chris, see what Dennis said? No, you have to say something nice about him.
It's going to be hard for him to do that, but Chris and I get along well.
He's a sweetheart.
Bill, Chris, both
I
owners
love
are
those
great.
guys. Yes. But getting back to that night at New Bar where
Right.
I did karaoke, it was just so unbelievable for me that people were responding so enthusiastically to me performing. And the thing about it was, and I always say this, it was I have the same voice singing as I do whether I'm in drag or not.
Okay.
But for some reason, when I sing in drag, people go crazy. I don't know why, but they do. It's just it's just.
Well, that's when we came up with the idea of doing karaoke drag, where you guys actually sing rather than lip sync, because you guys do have talent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of you who can sing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Everybody. I mean, as far as there's a lot of shows out there that do the lip syncing,
Yeah.
but how many actually do their own singing?
Not a lot, but
Yeah.
there's actually quite a few here on Long Island now, and my friend Macon Mayhem, who's a drag king.
Okay.
He sings live, and my drag niece Overreaction. amazing singer, and I actually have a show in April coming up, and they're both in it, and they're both going to be singing live. And
good.
And actually, Overy's going to be at the big show that I'm doing at New Bar on March 21st. Which I'm very excited for. We'll talk more about that.
Is
on
that the
next
crowning
show.
of a drag queen? Is that
The crowning of a drag performer. It's where this is a non-gender specific, non-binary, open to all, drag performers. So it's 2020. So we've got to move along with the times. It can't just be like a drag queen. So I have drag queen, drag king, non-binary.
drag, what the heck are you?
Yeah, basically, what? As long as you've got talent, that's all I really care about.
Okay.
But but yeah, I don't know why when I'm dressed like this and I sing, people just go wild. But they do.
The expectation might be higher. Who knows? I mean, they think because you're dressed like that, you're going to be good.
I
And
hope
they're prepared for it.
I hope. The other thing too is most times people, when they see a drag queen, they think they're going to lip sync. And I've had it quite often where like I'm in a show and all the other performers are lip syncing, and all of a sudden, I get up there on stage and I start singing live, and I've seen where like people are like they're busy, they're on their phones, they're not paying attention. And all of a sudden I start singing live, and all of a sudden people are like, huh? What?
Everybody likes talent. Everybody they love talent. So
Yeah. Well, not and not to say that lip syncing isn't talent, but in a form where like you're the only one live singing,
ability form. Well,
yeah,
it's hard what I want to say, but yes,
it's like it stands out because
Yeah.
if everyone else is lip syncing and all of a sudden you sing live, it stands out because it's different.
individual.
Yeah, So not that.
No, we're not
girls,
knocking-
don't kill me because I'm
We're
not
not
talking bad about
knocking
lip
lip sync.
syncing.
We're not
I'm
knocking lip sync.
And sometimes I do lip sync.
I got people like karaoke to lip sync. It doesn't go very well, but
I'll
they
bet
do.
there are some people that maybe you wish they would lip sync.
When I started karaoke, I was strictly brunette. It's great from trying to get the voices higher so you can hear them.
This is what karaoke has
That's what
done.
karaoke's done to me.
your
Karaoke
hair.
stress.
Yes.
But when you're very much into your sound and want to try to get as best you can, that's what it does to you. A lot of stress.
Yes. Well, I'm not gonna name names, name songs, or anything. But there have been a few times at some karaoke shows where somebody gets up on the mic and it's like they do like the same song every time. They never veer. They
Yes.
never,
Yeah. People are comfortable with what they do.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not exactly the best song choice for them, but they persevere.
Right.
They persevere. So
This is why I have to keep my mouth shut because I'll say things that aren't.
yes, we don't want to get you in
good.
trouble.
No, I won't say names, but it's
Not
just some
getting
things
anybody in trouble.
No, but I understand what you're saying, and it's a comfortability factor.
Mm-hmm.
So and a lot of them don't hear themselves, and maybe if they did get recorded more, which is something we're talking about here,
True.
If they get recorded and hear themselves, they'll know what they do well.
True.
And it's an awakening, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and a lot of people they're doing karaoke just because they just love that love doing karaoke. For me, I love doing karaoke, but since I also perform professionally, like I take vocal lessons, and a lot of times I'm when I'm working on a song, and especially something new, I record myself at home so I can listen back to it, and things like that. I'm practicing a lot to backing tracks, it's like I'm just in a different category, I guess, as a more or less a professional singer who also does karaoke.
Okay.
So,
I understand that. We have the Gay Men's Chorus, which is a lot of you guys are amazing singers.
Oh, amazing singers in the
Amazing. You
Gay
guys
Men's
come to New
Chorus,
Bar.
yes.
It floors me how good you guys are.
Yes. That's always a lot of fun when I can get a group of guys from the Long Island Gay Men's Chorus to invade on one of your karaoke
Yes,
nights.
we'll have to start canceling your shows during New Bar Week so we can get more people to come. Yes.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that. Oh,
Just
no.
schedule around New Bar.
Just schedule around.
I don't ask you to come into the shows. Just come to New Bar. That's all.
Well, it's like anytime that I have gone, and it's like I've said to Frank, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to New Bar. He's like, well, you go. Frank being my husband,
great guy.
He'd be like, well, you're going in drag, right? And I was like, well, I wasn't planning on it. He's like, no, well, you have to go in drag.
He's an encourager. I like that.
Yeah. Oh my Lord, is he? He's an enabler. And oddly enough, when I first started doing this, I had like a full goatee. And,
Right, that's right.
And and he was like, the first time I was going to do it with the Long Island Gay Men's Chorus perform in drag, he didn't want me to shave my goatee. He wanted me to like put like glitter in it and just be like
Yosemite Sam.
Well, there are like drag queens that do that. They keep their beards.
Right.
They put glitter in them and things like that. We call them a bearded queen. And he because he was like he did not want me shaving at all. But I was like no. I said if I'm gonna do this, I gotta go, the full shebang. It's like beard's gotta go. It's like I want to I do drag more like old school drag, they call it. Like I try to look very feminine as much as I can. You're not staring at my rack, are you?
I didn't notice it. No, I'm just trying to figure out what year is it.
I think I caught him. I think I caught him looking at my cleavage.
I've never seen it before. It's new to me.
Oh, these old things. The great thing about these,
I'm just wondering what the tune-up cost you.
I'll just run over to Pep Boys. If the air's getting a little low, just inflate them a little. But the great thing about them is, I don't have to chafe my chest.
There you go.
When I wear these, because if I wear something where I can't wear them, then I when you see my chest, then I got to shave the chest, and it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. But yes, my husband is an enabler. It's like anything he's like that. I'm like that if I say we're gonna go to karaoke at New Bar, he's like, well, you got to go in drag, right? And it's like, okay, fine, I'll go in drag.
Now, is there any chance of getting him to sing? Because he doesn't.
No,
he's not.
He does not sing. And get this, he trained as a classical pianist. He went to Manhattan School of Music.
Right.
You could put like Rachmaninoff in front of him, and he plays it on the piano.
Well,
But
can we do that? Can we get a little keyboard and put it on my system and have him play?
you could try, but
love
he's
to hear
like
that.
he doesn't play all that often. He's like he's too busy doing wigs. That's his whole business now. Is he does wigs for me. He does wigs for drag queens. All over the tri-state area, Connecticut. All over. That's like his.
He's
full
marvelous.
time.
He's marvelous at it too.
He
Great
is.
job.
He's really good. He's really.
Frank's
good.
a very good guy. I've talked to him a few times. And
Yes.
he's very nice.
Yes, he is. I don't know what I would do without him. I hope he's not listening because he'll never let me live this down now.
I will make sure he hears it. I'll text him afterwards when I'm leaving. Frank, play it back.
Yes. All right. Well, I think we're just going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back after these messages with more from Dennis from Kara Okee.
Yay.
Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Talking Toni. I am Toni Homeperm, the singing diva of Long Island. Joining me today is Dennis of Kara Okee, Long Island's best karaoke DJ, in my opinion. And it's my show, so my opinion's the only one that counts.
Your opinion is fine.
My opinion is the only one that counts.
Because that's pretty much what the best is. It's a matter of opinion.
And that's high praise because
Thank you.
I've hosted a little bit of pseudo karaoke myself, so I'm like putting you above me. But no, absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, so should we trade? Maybe I'll put you in drag, and I'll handle the karaoke.
I would be
what do you
one
think?
ugly woman.
That would be interesting. I bet Chris from New Bar would love to see that happen.
I did that once for Halloween.
Oh, you did?
I was a waiter.
Uh-huh.
Became a waitress. And I scared customers out of the place, so it wouldn't work. I look more like David Bowie as Ziggy Stardust.
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, it's crazy how sometimes a guy who is very handsome, like when they get in drag, they make an ugly woman.
Like an ugly woman.
But sometimes you'll have a guy that they're not attractive as a guy, but then in drag they're beautiful, And then there's me, who's handsome as a man and beautiful as a woman. What can I say?
Like I said before, some things you don't want to answer because you don't want to come up with the wrong comment. So
I think I've been shaded. I think. This is wonderful. Oh, Dennis, see, you're already learning to be a drag queen. You just threw shade at me.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh, yay, yay for you, Dennis. Oh, we'll have you in a wig and heels in no time. Oh, Jennifer would. I'm sure she would love to see that.
Jen Latini would
love to see that happen.
She would like to see that.
I know she would.
Yep.
I know she would. Oh my! I think I've come up with the idea for a show.
See, but you think I wouldn't do it? I would do it. It doesn't bother me. I wouldn't live it, but I would do it. It could be fun. I'd do a show with it. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many people would walk out, but I'd do a show.
Oh, it would be a lot of fun. Oh, I don't know. I'm having a wig malfunction here. It's like I'm laughing so much.
It's so much work, though.
It's going in
so
my
much work.
face. Oh, what are you talking about? So much?
I'm too lazy to do all this work.
Oh, this was nothing. It was just a little mascara, a little lip gloss. Just fluff the hair and I'm out the door.
I have to move my hands above my head to put the wig on. That's too much work for me.
We'll get Frank to put the wig on you. Oh, so what exactly? Where actually should I say are the venues that you are doing karaoke right
name
now?
Venues?
Yeah, on a regular basis.
Every Friday, I'm at Finish Line in Levittown.
Okay.
Wandsworth Avenue from 9 o'clock. It's been 4 years, going on 5 years strong.
Wow.
Once a month on a Saturday. I do different venues every Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
So once a month, I'm at New Bar.
Right.
Jay Hannigan's at Point Lookout. Coasters Tavern, which you're familiar with.
Yes.
In East Meadow. And It's About Time Cocktail Lounge, which is a mouthful, in Farmingdale. Some Tuesdays I do It's About Time also when their dark teams are away. So I play their Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
And right now, Aruga's Thursdays, but they're bringing an open jam night in next week, and I want to see how that works. So I might be alternating Thursdays, or I might be doing 3 out of the 4.
Now, for those who don't know, including me, what is an open jam?
I have no idea because I don't.
You don't know?
I don't know. I've just told they have an open jam. I heard it's a guy
okay.
with a piano, a drum, a guitar, and a microphone.
Okay.
So I have no idea.
And
I have to go spy and find out what it is.
Scope it out. Let us know.
I'm going to be an evil diva because I'm going to hope he does not well, so I look better.
No.
But yes, but it's what it is.
You really are becoming a drag queen.
I'm becoming a drag queen.
Right before my eyes.
I'm fitting right in. Hey, I haven't worked in New Bar for a couple of years and not learned anything.
I must be rubbing off on you. I don't know.
I'm naturally. I was born catty. Yes.
I better keep an eye on my shoes. I may not make it out of here tonight with my stilettos intact. So
a size 11, 11 and a half. Work.
No. I'm very petite. I'm sorry.
That's right. Forgot. Sorry.
Although I didn't used to be petite. I was like 100 pounds hevier when I started doing this. You
lost a lot of weight. You look very good.
A lot of weight. Thank you.
You went blonde and back.
Now I'm like salt and pepper. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the hair, with the real hair. It's like I was for years I had been dyeing it brown.
Okay.
Then I decided I wanted just midlife crisis. I don't know. I decided to go platinum, which I did. But then what happened is I had like quite a bit of breakage the last time that it was processed, and so I was just letting it grow out. And now I've got like salt and pepper, and now I'm just like, I don't know what to do with it. And then I think about doing something, and then it's like, oh, I got a show. I got to throw a wig on, so I don't have to. I don't have to think about it. So
When I started, I was still brunette pretty much, and then I started dyeing it, and I got to the point where it's like, the heck with dyeing, to just let it go. But usually I had long hair back then, and it's just my hair's just not. It just gets curly. It's a mess. I can't comb or anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I started going short.
Yeah.
Just leave it the way it is.
yeah, my natural hair is very, very thick, bushy, curly. It's very like so. Unless I keep it very short, it's like very unmanageable.
Right.
But
Same way.
thankfully, my husband Frank Beccari, the wig wizard, also is a hairstylist. So
Located at 245. No.
No, you can find him under if you type in wig wizard on Facebook, you can find him. But he is swamped right now. He is busier than me.
That's good.
with wigs. And I keep him busy as it is because it's like even today I was like, well, what hair do you have ready for me for today's show? And he's like, oh, I gotta see. Let me pull something out. And it's like and he just threw this together for me. So I figured it's St. Patrick's Day, and I think it's like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So I don't have a show that week, a Talking Tony show. So I said, well, let me put on my St. Patrick's Day.
Now, do you have a show at all that day, St. Patrick's Day?
No, I don't think
It's About Time Cocktail Lounge karaoke.
Oh, they do?
We're doing it.
Oh,
I'm doing
okay.
it. Free
Okay.
food.
Let me see.
Come and drag. I want to
me
see them
see.
all get shocked. Come and drag.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, he's daring me, people.
Do it.
He's daring me. We'll see. I don't know. How do you think? Like, because I've never done that. Like, go to like a karaoke at like basically a straight
Well,
bar.
you realize when you come in with me, I am like very
I know.
welcoming.
Yes,
I'll
absolutely.
come over, hug you guys, say hello, introduce you to the whole crowd, where they'll have to accept it. It's
Okay.
where they might look at it differently, but they'll accept it.
Okay.
They'll be forced on them, whatever it is. But it's once you sing, it's all about a good time.
Absolutely.
No one cares anymore.
Absolutely, yes. It's funny. The very first karaoke that I did in drag at New Bar when you were hosting, and I was singing a bunch of things, and this like one woman, she went up to Frank and she said, "Oh, is that your wife?" And he's like, "No, that's my husband." And she said, "No, I mean, she's your wife." And he's like, "No, that's my husband." she's like, "No, that's your wife." And he said, "Listen, lady, he's got something going on under that dress that is nothing womanly about. So trust me, he's my husband." And she was like,
She finally caught on after all that.
"Yeah,
Took a while.
it took a while, but I was like, yeah, she was."
There are a few people that have come in and they don't know New Bar is a gay bar.
Yes.
And I've had them text me afterwards saying, "Very interesting night." I've had a few, and I had a few that just like one guy. I brought him with me, and he knew, and some guy started hitting on him. And once he said, "Look, I'm not that way,"
Right.
The guy said, "No problem." Bought him a drink, and they talked all night.
Right.
And I had a great time, and they were friendly then.
Yeah.
It's, no one's like forcing
Absolutely.
anybody to anything. It's a great place.
No,
It really is.
Yeah, yes. There are some straight men out there who think that if they go into a gay bar, they're going to be like attacked and manhandled.
You're
and,
not that good
and-
looking.
yeah, exactly.
No one's desiring you.
You're not that good looking. I hate to break it to you, but you're not that good looking. That all the gay men in there are gonna like lose their minds. I mean, unless you're like movie star handsome, like
Hey, the way I look at it, if I'm not getting hit on, there's something wrong. So it's like that's when you got to worry.
And if you do get hit on, you should be flattered.
That's a compliment, sure.
You should be flattered.
It all
if
depends
you
how
do
it's
get
done.
hit on.
I mean,
absolutely.
Nothing wrong somebody flirt with you and want to buy a drink. It's not your thing. It's not your thing.
Right.
But when people touch you, it's a different story. But I understand
Absolutely.
that. But that doesn't. I haven't really seen that. too
Nothing
much.
without consent, people.
Right.
Have you ever had any romances develop at
Oh yeah, that was biggest
karaoke?
mistakes in the world.
Oh, Oh, here we go. Here we go.
We're not
I
going to
knew
get
that-
too far.
Oh, I knew there was something
because-
good.
because-
Okay,
because
here we go.
I know one's still around out there as karaoke
oh.
active, but there's three I've dated on karaoke and
Oh, you've dated.
I've dated. Yes. Is that what you meant? Or you meant?
Oh, this is
Oh, you
even
meant in
better.
general.
No, this is even better.
There
No,
are-
I want to hear about you.
Oh, there are people who have met in karaoke.
Okay.
We have actually friends of mine, Andrea and Jeff.
Okay.
The Millers. They met at Coasters in karaoke,
Oh, see, there you go.
and now they're married with a baby.
Oh, look
So-
at that. So for any singles out there,
It's a good place to meet people.
good place to meet people. Karaoke, yes, way better than doing it on your phone.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
Sure.
it's like you're meeting face to face.
Right.
You get to talk to the person. They can't hide behind a fake photo,
And a fake profile.
a fake profile. All these things.
Is it like Pete Nokia? Is that what?
What was that?
You ever see the commercial? Pete Nokia?
Pete
Pinocchio?
Nokia.
Pinocchio.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm gonna share this with you. I'm doing on Saturday. Sip This. It's,
Right.
It's the coffee shop in
Valley
Valley
Stream.
Stream. And they're having their St. Patrick's Day theme show, and I was thinking, oh well, what can I sing that's St. Patrick's Day? It's like, well, it's not exactly St. Patrick's Day theme. But it is a song about booze, so I think you can't really go wrong. So I'm doing the Pina Colada song,
Oh, okay.
but I'm working on it. I've like updated it because I'm like, nobody's like looking at like classified ads in newspapers to like
There are hardly any more news.
I don't even know, right? So I've actually rewritten the song lyrically to like
you
make
put a
it
twist
like,
on it.
I put a twist on it.
Very good.
Yes, and so I've updated it to like be like modern day. So I'm very excited.
You got to record that. I want to hear that.
So okay, I
be
will.
good.
I will. Or maybe the next time that I come to karaoke, maybe I'll do it and I'll do that version because I don't need the words.
That happens.
I don't need the words. It's like a lot of times I don't need the words because it's like I do so many things like live and so I just have it. I don't know how I have it memorized. Let me tell you. And like,
Repetition.
It's like muscle memory, I guess. But there's a lot of times where it's like right before I'm ready to go on stage and do a number, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, geez, what was that lyric again? But then all of a sudden, once the music starts and I'm singing it, it's just like it's automatic and it just happens. Thank the Lord.
I'm just so glad you got away from the relationships and went somewhere else. So this is
Well, getting back to the relationships now. So
we're almost out of time.
no, we have quite a bit of time left. Okay, so Dennis, so there has been a little bit of stupid Cupid.
It's stupid. More stupid than Cupid.
Stop picking on me. So
Yeah, I'm not the easiest person to get along with or live with at times. I'm very. I guess I've gotten crotchety in the older age.
so true for a lot of us.
If I was one of the seven dwarfs, I'd definitely be grumpy.
You'd be
lately,
grumpy.
So I'd be grumpy. Yes.
You'd be grumpy. So is there a Mrs. Kara Okee at the moment?
No, I've been. Well, my last marriage was back in '95, so I've been smart enough not to do that again.
Okay.
But
Been there, done that,
done
got
that,
the
over with.
T-shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
Got the divorce papers, lost the money. Yes.
Okay. But there has been, some,
Well, there was, but it's been a few years.
some romantic interludes for you at karaoke.
When you got to realize that you're running a business. For me, maybe I think it's harder for me because everybody else doesn't seem to have these problems. From what I understand, but I might create my own drama. Who knows? But I notice when I run a business, it's not good to kind of dive into something like that because you want to keep people coming back. And when you have something like that and it doesn't work out, you just lost that person.
True.
And if they have a group of friends, you've lost those friends too.
Very true.
So it doesn't
Very
make
true.
good for a business. So you have to decide which. To me, I decided I'd rather do a business than have relationships with it.
Remember in Moonstruck, I'll clean it up. I'll make it G-rated. When Olympia Dukakis, she tells Cher that her mother always said, "Don't poop where you eat."
Right.
So it's the same thing.
Same thing.
The same thing. So don't poop where you eat, people. Keep business and the personal.
Right.
So, but it's not always easy to do.
No, not at all.
It's
I mean,
not always
believe me,
easy to
there's some that came in that I've my tongue. There we go. My tongue got tied over. But
Tongue-tied.
Yes, it was easy for me to say. My tongue gets tied over. But
I think you were staring at my cleavage again.
It could be. You never know.
He's probably going to want to try this on.
The green's attracting. I like the dress.
He's going to be like, "Can I try those breasts on?" before he goes.
Oh, they're removable?
Of course.
Oh, great.
Everything about me is removable. Everything is removable. I'm like Barbie with all her accessories.
That's great.
Oh my. Okay. Well. Enough about the relationship. Let's talk about now. What would be the funniest thing that has ever happened hosting karaoke?
Oh my God.
What is the absolute funniest thing? Because I know there's got because we're usually it's in a bar. People are drinking. People are singing. There's got to be some hilarious things that have happened.
You know what? There's probably so many, and I just forgot. But there's one that did happen recently that I had to remember. This girl came in. She was a podiatrist.
Okay.
So you're talking about a professional. That's
Professionals. A doctor.
A doctor. A little drunk. After she sings, she decides to tell the crowd that her little nephew is getting his pee-pee chopped the next day.
Oh, goodness. Oh, so she was a Jewish doctor.
She was a Jewish doctor.
A Jewish doctor, and her nephew was the moil was coming to do the circumcision.
And usually I'll shut people down when they start to vamp on the microphones. Because you never know what's gonna come. But I was such shock that she was saying this that I just let it go. It just kept on going on and on about it.
Oh my!
So I found that very funny.
That must have been hilarious.
To me, it was anyway.
To you, that's all that counts.
That's what counts. I'm the one in control.
That's
so
right.
yes,
I feel the same way when I'm doing a show. It's like if something's entertaining me, that's all I care about.
We've had at Coasters when the former owner was with Vinny still. Somebody sang "Chocolate Salty Balls" in the packed bar. And everybody's laughing at it, but the owners didn't like it, so they come running over to me. That's a nasty song. You should shut that off. And I turned around, and there was an older woman, and she's laughing. I said, "That's the oldest person in this bar. She has no problem with it. I have no problem with it."
Right.
You know, it's a great song. I love it. It's funny as heck. But
yeah, I mean that's all that counts.
That's all that matters.
That's all that counts.
So I stand up to owners.
You're a tower of Jello, Dennis.
I stand to the owners. I don't back down.
He stood his ground on what is it? Chocolate
salty balls. Yes.
He stood his ground. So you could be a drag queen. Jennifer is going to be messaging you, and she's going to be like ready to take you shopping at Rainbow. And
that would mean Jennifer to spend money. She's not going to spend money on me.
Well, with your debit card, of course.
Yeah, that's what happens.
All right. So, what would you say the drunkest patrons? What is generally the drunkest patrons? What is usually their song of choice?
Oh,
the real, when you get somebody who's really,
Paradise
really
by Dashboard
drunk.
Light would be one. It would be whatever they used. It doesn't matter because it won't be what they started out. They could start it out as Eagles Hotel California, and it's going to come out where pizza's on the floor. It's just not going to come out well. Drunks really for karaoke people are probably the biggest nightmare.
Yes,
but they also are the ones who keeps the bars open. So
right.
You have to kind of, as long as they're not brutally problems with fighting people,
right.
You have to kind of just appease them and let them do their thing.
But there is something quite entertaining about somebody really drunk at karaoke.
It depends. I mean, it depends on the crowd. If you got to read your crowd. If you have a crowd that doesn't drink like that, then they find it offensive and they don't like it.
Oh, okay.
So you have to kind of like end it fast and get rid of it and shoo it off. If you've got a crowd that's laughing with them, and enjoying it, then you could just
you've got to read the crowd. So when somebody is like that, you've got to read the crowd and determine, am I
my background,
cutting them off?
My background music, every time I do gigs, I play background music. I DJ on the side with it.
Right.
New Bar, I do a lot of 80s, all the new wave. Different places I do different songs. All depends on the crowd. So you got to read your crowd.
Right. So depending on what's happening with the crowd, whether to cut them off at the pass or let it go.
Let it go on and on. And you can make the good thing about some drunks. You can make fun of them.
That is true,
and they'll never know you're making fun of them.
That is true. I like them when they tip.
We don't. You know what? I don't get much of that.
No,
you'd be surprised. And
that's the good thing about being a drag queen.
Yeah, and I probably one of the people who
let me do your makeup. We'll get you in a
well, you could do my tip jar. How's that?
And we'll give you a tip jar. You'll start making some tips. It'd be nice, Dennis.
It'd be nice when you go over an hour or 2 hours. You're not getting paid, and people are just sing along. You can throw a little bit, a couple of pennies here and there.
Absolutely.
I'll be wishing well.
I don't take change.
I'll be a wishing well. Throw whatever you want.
No, I don't take anything less than $1 bill. Nothing less than $1 bill. It's got to be paper money. Sorry. They better not come at me with change. No, not happening. So, but yeah.
4 quarters is $1. So,
4 quarters.
it's $1.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but who has the time to like put them in those rollers and everything?
I live in Queens.
too
I got
much.
meters. I can refeed them to the meters.
Oh,
in
I
the
didn't know.
street.
That's right. That's
Kennedy
right.
Airport, right by Kennedy
That's
Airport.
right. I remember now. That's right. So you do a lot of schlepping.
Yes.
It's a lot of schlepping.
Especially during the week when you get the traffic. That's the worst.
I know.
Going to Farmingdale on a Tuesday. Sometimes it takes me almost 2 hours to get there.
I know, and it's ridiculous. And when there's no traffic, it's like what?
20 minutes, half
20
hour,
minutes.
yeah.
Right.
Depends how fast I can go.
Welcome to Long Island.
Yes. And I can, when school is out, I get to move.
I know Long Island is like the only place you can live where, like, you know, it can take you an hour to get from like one end of town to the other.
It's like, how long is it going to take you? We'll see when I get there.
Yeah. It's like, it's just, you know, but that's Long Island traffic. What can we do? But you're moving and shaking, and you're
Trying my best.
Yes.
Still moving, yes.
yes. So once again, if people and let me ask you, and I'm sure you do, you must host like, you know, private parties
Yes,
for
I do
people
private
that want to do
parties.
karaoke.
Yes. A DJ or private party.
DJ or karaoke.
either one.
Yes. Okay. And they can find you on
Facebook
Facebook
as Karaoke.
as Karaoke.
I'm also on Instagram, and don't ask me because I forget what my Instagram name is, but
I think it's
you know it better than I do.
Okee Kara.
Something like that. Yeah,
I think it's reversed.
they gave it to me, so I took it.
Oh, they gave it to you.
Yeah.
So I like that. they gave it to me.
I'm
so I took
I'm
it.
very accepting. Yes.
Dennis, you're veering more and more into like drag queen reality. The longer this show progresses, you know, before we end, I may have to put my wig on your head.
That would be a great ending.
No, no, my husband will kill me. My husband would
I
kill
should
me.
have bought my own next time.
Next time, you have to bring your
next time
own
I'll do
wig.
the show in drag.
Yes. So Karaoke on Facebook.
Karaoke on Facebook.
Instagram, I think it's Okee Kara.
Just find Tony and ask him. He'll find me.
Yeah, you can always contact me. I'll let them know where to find you. So yes, private parties.
Private parties.
Have you done a lot of?
I've
private
done quite a
party
few.
karaokes?
I haven't done too many weddings. I've done a couple, but I'm not a big. I don't want to say not a big fan of weddings. I think weddings. I leave it up for more people. People have more experience with it because it's a special night. You mess that up in a little
Yeah.
bit, makes
That's
a difference.
rough.
But I like more outdoor private parties where they're just drunk and stupid and just have a good time.
Yes, and you have and you're in control of the mic, so you can. He has the power. He can cut them off.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
I'm not in the shape I used to be in, but I still can stay in control of things. Yes,
Absolutely,
in
absolutely.
every aspect.
Fortunately, you don't have to be in too much shape to just
Hit the button.
Hit the
Well,
button.
You'd be
Put them on
surprised
mute.
when you got to grab that microphone back from somebody who doesn't want to give it to you. So.
That is true. That is true. I mean, I've had some times where it's like, you know, when I'm performing in drag and somebody, you know, it's usually always a drunk straight girl. They want to get up and they want to start like dancing around me, and then they're like right in front of me in my face. I'm trying to sing, and it's like, you know, I'm smiling, and it's like, you know, I'm like, you know, moving to the side or something, because it's like, if you're standing like right here in front of me, like nobody else can see me, and you know, it's so.
Well, there's always the. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That usually gets them to move a bit.
So I'm too polite. What can I say? But you know, I just shuffle and move to the other.
You can always ding them with the microphone too.
Yeah. So some drag queens, they're like, you know, they've like pushed people off stages.
Yeah,
and
it's,
things like that. I would never do that.
No,
to
you don't put
anybody.
your hands on anybody.
You know, I would never do that to anybody. I just sort of. You know, I'm just sort of like, I'm just going to, you know, move to the other side of the stage, move in front of you so that you're not, you know, standing right in front of me. So but, it comes with the territory. But you know that better than anybody. What comes with the things that come with the territory of, you know, this kind of life.
Right. Sometimes you have to be very vocal about moving people away. And sometimes it just comes natural. We just walk right in between people and move them out of the way, and it works. Because I've had a lot of people come with the singers, same thing. And some singers don't want to be bothered. They want to sing alone.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you have the best thing to do is you get between them, you start walking towards the person who's the problem, and you're hoping they back up with you.
Right.
And that, you know, no hands touching, it just moves them out of the way.
Right. Yeah. Like when I'm singing at karaoke, I don't want somebody else coming up and like, you know, joining in with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes like with my friend Danny from the chorus, we'll get up and we'll be doing a duet together, something like that. That's different. But it's like when I'm performing, you know,
Well, it's one thing if somebody asks you, you don't want somebody
Right.
charging you and putting you on that spot.
Absolutely, you know. So, but it is what it is.
Just etiquette.
You know.
That's all.
Well, I can't believe it, Dennis.
It's time, I see
we
that.
We are at the end of my show, and
It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Found out so much about karaoke and karaoke.
The mysteries of karaoke.
The mysteries of karaoke revealed. See, where else can people find this out? I
By
don't
the
know.
other 70,000 karaoke hosts in the neighborhood.
Probably, but you know, there's only one karaoke.
There's only one karaoke, yes.
There's only one Dennis from
Karaoke.
karaoke. And as we were saying, if you want to book Dennis for your club, your venue, private party, karaoke on Facebook. And I believe it's Okee Kara on Instagram. Is there any
Right.
other place people can find
phone
you?
numbers or actually email.
Email? What's the email?
Don't knock this because I wasn't given this name. Somebody else gave it to me. BigDenKaraoke@gmail.
Big Den Karaoke
At Gmail.
at gmail.com.
Yes.
And those are the places where you can find Dennis. In my opinion, the best karaoke DJ on Long Island. And as I said before, it's my show, so my opinion is the only one that counts.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that.
So, and Dennis, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to try to get out to what you talked about on St. Patrick's Day.
Right. It's about time.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know, or maybe I'll just surprise you.
Yeah, do that. I surprise us. Better off.
Maybe I'll just.
That makes my
surprise
day
you.
when people walk in and I'm not expecting to come in. That's even better.
There you go. There you go. Well, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank
Appreciate it.
everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone who tuned in to Talking Tony, and I will be back in 2 weeks from today, back at my regular time, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We were a little earlier today because you have a gig at Arugas
Arugas in Rockville Center.
So if you're listening live now and you want to do some karaoke and you're near Rockville Center, go to Arugas. Dennis will be there. And I will see all of you in 2 weeks. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you.
Twilly-dilly-dee, 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 tweet, 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 tweet.
She talks to the people all night long, chatting and a-gabbing and a-singing her song. All the divas down on Rainbow Street love to hear Tony go tweet, tweet, tweet. Talking Tony,
Tweet, tweet,
talking Tony.
tweet, twilly-dee.
Oh, talking Tony gonna really talk tonight.